Am I the asshole for demanding my girlfriend to change her dress for a wedding? This happened during this weekend, me being in my early 30s and my girlfriend in her late 20s. I was invited to a wedding ceremony of a colleague and could bring someone with me. I asked my girlfriend that I've been dating for a year if she would like to join me, and she was really happy because she apparently loves weddings. Since we don't live together, I drove to pick her up so we'd have some time to spare before the ceremony. As she comes out, she looks really beautiful and has obviously put in time to fix her hair and makeup. She's also wearing an off-white dress that was rather ornate. As she got in, I told her that she looked stunning, but I asked if she could change to a different colored dress for the ceremony. I'm not one for etiquette by far, but one of the few things I have heard everywhere is that you should not wear a white dress to a wedding unless you're the bride. She became pretty upset and wanted to know what was wrong with her dress. I said that it would be inappropriate to wear a white or off-white dress unless you're the bride and that it's like wedding law or something, trying to be lighthearted about it. She rolled her eyes and said that it was an outdated tradition about women and virginity and that when her friends got married everyone wore white and that it's not a big thing anymore. I told her that I don't know what the dress code is for this ceremony, but since it's not saying, all white clothes, I still thought she should change to another color but white or almost white, because my colleague was getting married and we had no idea how she felt about it. My girlfriend became really upset and told me that I was trying to control what she was wearing and that it was abusive, which honestly made me really upset and hurt. I said something along the lines of, "Fuck, well you shouldn't go to a wedding with an abuser then," and then I told her to fuck off out of my car. She began to cry and wanted to apologize and give me a hug, but I just told her to get out, which she did. Edit. To clarify, we never left the driveway by her home. I did not drop her off in the middle of nowhere or anything like that. I drove off and she called and texted me a bunch. I answered, "I don't want to talk right now," and then turned my phone off and attended the ceremony. The bride was the only one that was wearing white, so I feel as if my gut feeling was the right one. When I got home, my phone had blown up by texts from her and her best friend saying that I was being inconsiderate and controlling and should apologize for my behavior. I vented to a few friends, most of them agreeing with me, but some have said that it was an asshole thing to tell her that she could not wear her dress because it had nothing to do with me. I feel as if I was in the right since it was my colleague's wedding and it was better to be safe than sorry, but I'm also not sure if I was being an asshole about the situation. So, Reddit, am I the asshole? Update. I never expected this thread to get this many replies. I am incredibly thankful for all of you that have reached out and commented, and I really appreciate that you've taken the time to tell me. My girlfriend found out about the thread, don't know if she knew my handle, or just found it, and we talked over the phone. She apologized and I apologized and it was a pretty good talk. She asked if she could come over, and I said no and that it would be best for us to go our separate ways. She got upset and asked why I wouldn't even try to work it out. I basically just said goodbye and then she said my dick was small, which actually made me laugh after what had been a pretty mature conversation, and then she hung up. I'm pretty sad about it. She really made me feel happy, but as many of you have commented, if this was our first disagreement and she called me abusive, how would future disagreements look? I was hurt, but if she did think I was being abusive, it would be the right thing to do, and if she did not think I was being abusive and said it anyways, I would not want to be with her. So anyways, I think things worked out for the best for us both. Again, thank you all, and I will keep trying to respond to all of you, but there are a lot of messages, but I read through them all. Not the asshole. Your girlfriend should have known better. Unless you know the couple and they have no issue or it's a request, you don't wear white. She also overreacted and you did the right thing by asking her to not go and to get out of your car. Absolutely not the asshole, and your girlfriend sounds like an attention-seeking nightmare. Literally everyone knows you're not supposed to wear white to a wedding. Even if she magically had not heard this rule, the second you mentioned it, a reasonable person would have changed dresses just to be safe. She clearly wanted to be center of attention, create drama, and when you wouldn't allow it, she created drama another way. I would honestly end this relationship unless you want to end up married to one of those JNMILs who wear white to their son's wedding and then act mystified when the bride gets upset. Not the asshole. I'm suspicious of her motives here because everyone knows you don't wear white to a wedding. Not the asshole. Never thought I'd comment that on a post with a title like yours. It's concerning that your girlfriend would call your etiquette corrections abusive. Has she been abused before? Not the asshole. Given that your girlfriend knows about your family history with abuse, I feel like she purposefully chose to use that word to manipulate you. I'm sorry, Op. Def not the asshole and but your girlfriend sure is. Not the asshole. If she truly loves weddings, then she absolutely knows you don't wear anything close to white to someone else's wedding. Her excuses about doing so for a friend were ridiculous since 1. She doesn't know this bride, and 2. This is a colleague of yours. Then, trying to shift the blame for the situation onto you? Yikes. Not the asshole. How f***ing dare she? She knew. Oh, she totally knew. 100% there is no way she didn't know. I'm not even the bride and I'm furious with her. Not the asshole. You're the one invited and the one that's going to face the social blowback when people get upset at what she's wearing, not her. To then claim you're controlling and abusive and demand you apologize is a massive red flag. Am I the asshole for walking out of my surprise birthday party? So it was my 20 female birthday today, and from the minute I woke up nobody has acknowledged my birthday. I walked downstairs to my kitchen and my mom was reading her newspaper, ignoring me completely. She even had some demands about cooking and cleaning, so my day already started a little off. My dad and brother both ignored me as well. Normally my dad wishes me at least a happy birthday, but today he just said nothing. My friends seemed to have forgotten it as well, as they literally said nothing. My friend messaged me about some clothes but nothing more. I just didn't feel special, as stupid as it sounds. It was the same at work. My colleague spoke about my birthday yesterday and today nobody acknowledged it or said anything. I just felt so miserable and ignored. Before heading home after work I bought myself a small birthday cake just to treat myself and make it a little better. Well, when I got home and ready to just have a dip, my whole family, friends and colleagues were in my living room. They told me how they had been all excited to surprise me, but I just couldn't help myself but feel upset. They ignored me throughout the whole day and now they want me to be all happy and chatty. I just walked out. I walked back to my car and now I am sat in a McDonald's parking lot writing this. My phone is being blown up about me being the asshole for walking out. I do feel kind of bad, but I just couldn't do it anymore. Should I have just sucked it up, or was I the asshole for walking out? Edit. I would like to thank everyone who took their time to comment and read my post. As many of you suggested, I spoke to my family and went home after. Well, they were still having a pretty good time, so they still had a fun party anyway. I am going to a restaurant for dinner with my family today, so we still ended on good terms. I would also like to say thank you to those who went out of their way to wish me a happy birthday anyway, it really means a lot. Have a good day, Reddit. People seem to be confused about surprise parties in here. Surprise parties don't mean you go the whole day without acknowledging the birthday and making someone feel shitty as a bit. It just means you don't acknowledge that there is a party that is going to take place. ETA. Not the asshole, clearly. Not the asshole. People really need to stop going with plans that only happen, work in fiction. Normal people with their heads on right can still manage a surprise party while also saying happy birthday and the like. Nothing that happened implied plans or care, and it's very okay to be upset by the emotional whiplash. Edit. Please don't listen to anyone saying that not saying happy birthday when a surprise party is planned is normal. It's not. Not the asshole. That was a cruel prank. Not the asshole. That's not how you do a surprise party. That's just mean and ignorant, to treat you coldly all day and let you feel unhappy and forgotten. Were they amused and pleased at your disappointment? The way to do a surprise party is to plan something standard like, we'll have cake and some wine this evening, what time will you be home? And then the surprise is that it is so much more than you expected. Not the asshole. They could have easily still had a surprise party. Acknowledging the fact that it's your birthday and congratulating you doesn't stop them also doing the surprise party. I'm not sure who thought this was a good idea. Not the asshole. I don't understand this way of celebrating. A few friends of mine did this one year. They had prepared something nice at night, but still, I spent 90% of my birthday wandering alone, depressed, because I didn't have anyone to be with me because they wanted a surprise woman facepalming light skin tone. That's what they did to you, so it's okay to be upset. Plus they did that on your 20th birthday no less. Oh, and happy birthday, Love Rose. Not the asshole. I never get this. It seems to be a common thing to treat someone like shit all day and then do the big reveal. You have to truly know your audience will appreciate this before pulling it, and time again, it has blown up. Because no one wants to spend a whole day thinking everyone around them has forgotten them, regardless of what may have been planned. I don't get the fun here at all, it's just cruel. There is post after post on Reddit about this very occasion, and it never ends well for the poor birthday person. That's on par with the chick who smashed her boyfriend's PS4 just so she could surprise him with a PS5. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for kicking my son out after he peed on his bed multiple times? I, 44F, will start by saying that my son, Luke, is 18 years old. He is not a child, and he purposefully peed on his bed multiple times. We have a housekeeper, Mary, that helps me with the laundry, cleaning, etc., and she only brought it up after it had already happened over and over again. I could tell she was very uncomfortable when she explained the situation. She said she had been cleaning and washing our son's sheets over and over for almost a week and she was concerned. After having a conversation with Luke, he unashamedly told us that he was doing that purposefully to piss off Mary because apparently he does not like the way she talks to him. He said Mary keeps telling him to scrape the leftovers from his plates in the garbage can, not in the sink, as he usually does, which ends up clogging the pipes, and quote, "She didn't even thank me for doing the dishes. It's literally her job. If I do it and it happens to clog the pipes, that's not my problem. I want her gone, and if you're not gonna fire her, I'll make her quit." Luke is our only child and has always had reprehensible behaviors. He has gone to therapy multiple times but currently refuses to go. You could argue that it's a result of bad parenting, and frankly yes. Whenever he shows bad behavior, my husband doesn't take it seriously. He thinks Luke is just a normal teen boy doing boy things. My son is not scared of me. He doesn't listen to me. He doesn't want to work or go to college. He is not afraid of any consequences because he knows his dad will let him off. Of course I love my son, but after what he said regarding this incident, I kicked him out. I told him Mary was not going anywhere and that he was going to pack his things and find a place to rent with the money his dad gives him. My husband believes my reaction to this situation was too extreme and he was on my son's side, but Luke decided he was going to live with his friend that had been looking for a roommate because he hates me and the only way I'm ever gonna get off his ass is by moving out. I am hurt by this, obviously, but as a mother I think the only way that he's ever gonna learn and mature is if he moves out and deals with shit on his own. My husband is still very upset and this is taking a toll on our marriage. However, I do not want advice and comments regarding my marriage. That's not the point of this post. I want different perspectives from different people and that is why I'm here. My husband firmly believes I am the asshole for kicking our son out. So, am I really not the asshole? He is performing a bodily function to spite your housekeeper. Which means he has to sleep in the piss mattress in order to do that. That's some weird ass behavior. Not the asshole. That behavior is vile, and maybe it was a long time coming, but this is what it will take to put your son on the right track. You're doing him a favor. And no one should ever treat people the way he does. Not the asshole. But your husband is the asshole for being a dismissive, unhelpful parent. Which has led your son to be a privileged, selfish prick. Nope. Not the asshole. If you were, it'd only be because this has gone on so long. But I can see you and your spouse don't quite see eye to eye on that. Peeing on your sheets to make the housekeeper quit because they weren't sufficiently deferential to you is not normal teen boy things. For one thing, 99.9% of teen boys don't have a housekeeper. Your son is clearly suffering from affluenza. He's had everything handed to him his whole life, and is now so entitled that he feels no obligation to have a productive adulthood or adhere to norms of decent behavior. The fact that therapy didn't help and he now refuses to go sounds IDK. Dangerous. Maybe having to manage on his own for a bit will adjust his perspective, but I doubt it. Not the asshole. Your family needs to go to counseling separately and together. You took a stand about 17 years too late it appears, but if you don't work with your husband to fix this problem, one day he's gonna do much worse and end up in a prison. I would sit down with my husband and talk with non-you statements telling him I need to fix this. I would appreciate your help. I believe a mutual third party to mediate would help. I believe our son needs us to allow him to fail on his own so he can mature, get a job and be a better person. Excuse me? He thought he was gonna get Mary to quit because she's telling him how to do things correctly as an adult. Who exactly does he think he is? He's not paying her. He's not paying the mortgage. He's not paying for the plumber or clearing the pipes himself when he jacks them up. It's not his place to make any kind of decision about Mary. I think he needs to learn the hard way how life really is. If scraping scraps into the disposal is really that serious of a burden for him, I think he's in for a rude awakening. You are not the asshole. Your son is very much not the asshole. Perhaps you should kick your husband out, too. This boys will be boys shit has to end. Not the asshole. You were brave and I commend you for not enabling this behavior longer. That is very rough to do as a parent, and my heart goes out to you. Pissing on a bed on purpose alone is good enough reason, but seeing his reasoning, it is time for a wake-up call. Let him see who else will clean up after him and how quickly he gets kicked out of an apartment if it smells like piss. Am I the asshole for how I pick my sons up from school? I hate waiting in line. The school pickup line is terrible in my opinion. It backs up on a fairly main road, takes 15+ minutes of waiting just to pick up your child. It is all around an annoying experience, and I know many parents complain about it. When my boys, 5 male twins, are old enough to be on the walking home list, I will have them walk a few blocks to my car for me to take them home. But since they are too young to do such, I park my car a few blocks away, walk to the school, pick them up, and the 3 of us walk back to my car. It is fairly painless to me. The boys never really complained. I make sure to park in a legal spot, not blocking anyone, not in a reserved area. I had never thought anything of it. Until last week I went to the PTA meeting because I had a different grievance to bring up. My son has an IEP and is supposed to get taken out of class for 20 minutes a day to work on stuff, and it hasn't been happening. When a different parent says that what I am doing is wrong, they all hate the line, but we all have to wait in it. Me circumventing it like that is throwing away the whole system. Not to mention it is cruel to make children walk in such cold weather. Which seems silly. They will either be standing outside waiting for my vehicle or outside walking to the vehicle. They ended the meeting and said that it will be discussed at the April meeting. Am I the asshole for circumventing the line and just picking both my boys? Edit. About the IEP. Yes, I emailed people first. Yes, I know a PTA isn't the best place to bring it up. Not the asshole. You aren't holding the line up. You aren't preventing them from picking up their kids. I see nothing wrong with what you are doing. They sound mad they didn't think of it first. I'm glad my kids can take the bus. The pickup line sucks. Rolling on the floor laughing. Really? Someone brought this up publicly at the meeting? Are there other parents doing this, causing problems by jaywalking or something? Not the asshole. The pickup line is to prevent chaos in front of the school and in the parking lot. You're walking. Walking should be encouraged. I'm sorry that someone felt the need to publicly call you out. That's messed up. Not the asshole. You found a loophole and dove straight through. I see no problems. It's more convenient, you pollute less by waiting in the line, and you get exercise from walking back to the car. 3 birds, 1 stone. As long as your parking further away doesn't affect other people, doesn't inconvenience others, in other words, doesn't harm anyone else, then not the asshole. Not the asshole. The fact that you could circumvent the system to a more efficient solution is alone proof that the lines are a waste of time. As long as your twins are fine, nothing wrong with walking anyways. Not the asshole. You aren't doing anything wrong. The other parent is just mad that they are too lazy to do the same thing. No one can force you to sit in that ridiculous line. You aren't impeding traffic. Your kids aren't being abused. Don't let them try to bully you into doing it their way. What are they going to do to you? Nothing. Huh? Not the asshole. This is the most ludicrous thing I've heard in a while. She's mad that you're skipping the line by actually removing a car from the traffic jam? Your way is just basic common sense. It's how pretty much all school pickups worked when I was in school. No one has to wait in the line unless they're really too dense to see that if everyone did what you do there'd be no line to worry about. Ta-da. Not the asshole. That other parent needs to get a life and mind their own business.